I'm 91 years old now, and the house is quiet, in a way I never imagined it would be. Not peaceful quiet, not the kind you choose, the kind that sits on your chest and doesn't move. I used to think I earned this quiet, that after a long life, you deserved rest. But this isn't rest. This is absence, and there's a difference. I learned it too late. My children don't visit anymore. I say that plainly now, because dressing it up doesn't change it. They stopped coming slowly. A missed Sunday here, a short call instead of a visit there, then birthdays over the phone, then nothing regular at all. I still keep the front light on in the evenings. Old habit, I tell myself it's for safety, but I know better. It's in case someone comes. No one does. I sit in the same chair most mornings, the one near the window. My knees, they don't like me much anymore. So I stay there, and I look at the gate, not always on purpose, but I look. You'd think at 91, you'd have made peace with everything. That life would make sense by now, but it doesn't work that way. If anything, the older you get, the clearer you see the parts you got wrong. And I got something very important wrong. I thought there would be more time. When I was in my 30s, 40s. I was busy. That's the word I used. Busy meant responsible. Busy meant I was doing what a man should do. I worked long hours, left early, came home late. I told myself it was for them. My wife, my children, I provided. Bills were paid. Food was always there. School fees, never a problem. I wore that like a badge. But I wasn't there. Not really. I remember coming home some nights, and the house would already be settling down. Children half asleep, homework done, without me. My wife would ask how my day was, and I'd answer, halfway, already thinking about tomorrow. I told myself there would be weekends. Weekends came and went. There was always something. Work to finish, calls to take, problems that couldn't wait. I'd sit at the table, papers spread out, and one of the kids would come up to me, small hands, holding something, a drawing, maybe, or just wanting to talk. And I'd say, "Not now. Give me a minute." A minute that never came. They would stand there for a second, then walk away. Quietly. I didn't notice how quiet they became. That's the thing about children. They don't argue when they start giving up on you. They don't announce it, they just adjust. I told myself I was building something, a future, stability. I thought one day they'd understand. They'd look back and say, "He worked hard for us." Maybe they do. But that's not what they needed. There was a night. I still remember it. Funny, what stays with you? My son, he must have been 10. There was some school event, nothing big, but it mattered to him. He asked me to come. I said, "I'll try." That's what you say when you already know the answer. Something came up at work. It always did. I didn't go. When I got home, he was asleep. My wife told me. He waited by the door for a while. I said I'd make it up to him. I don't remember if I ever did. Years passed like that. Not in big mistakes. Not in dramatic failures. Just small moments. Missed. One after another. A dinner skipped. A conversation cut short. A promise delayed. They don't feel important at the time. That's the danger. You don't see the pattern while you're inside it. My wife used to say, "They won't stay this age forever." I'd nod, distracted. I thought she was being sentimental. She wasn't. Time was moving, and I wasn't paying attention. When the children got older, they stopped asking. No more drawings. No more stories about their day. They learned to manage without me. I told myself that was good, that I had raised strong, independent children. I didn't understand that independence can come from distance. My wife carried everything I didn't. She remembered birthdays. She listened. She was there. I thought that was her role. And mine was different. We didn't fight, not loudly. But there were things she stopped saying, things she stopped asking for. She adjusted too. People don't always argue when they're unhappy. Sometimes they just go quiet. Then she got sick. It wasn't sudden, but it felt sudden to me, because I hadn't been looking closely. I told myself, now I would be there. Now I would fix it. I sat with her, held her hand, listened properly. But there are conversations you don't get back. One evening, she looked at me and said, "You're here now." That was all. No anger, no blame. And somehow, that made it heavier. Because we both knew. She passed not long after. The house changed, not just because she was gone, but because everything she held together went with her. The children came for the funeral. They stayed a few days. There was warmth, memories, and I thought, maybe now things would be different. But relationships don't rebuild themselves just because something is lost. If anything, loss shows you what was already weak. After they left, the calls came less often, not out of cruelty. They have lives, families, responsibilities, just like I did. I see it clearly now. They learned from me. They learned how to be busy, how to say, "I'll come next week," and believe it. I taught them that, without meaning to. For a while, they still visited sometimes. Then less. Then rarely. Now, I don't expect it. When the phone rings, I still feel something, a small lift in my chest. Sometimes it's one of them. Most times, it isn't. I don't blame them, not the way you might think. That would be easier, to say they forgot me. But that's not the truth. The truth is quieter. I was there, like a shadow, always present, but not something you could hold. I gave them what I thought mattered most, but I missed what actually stays. You can't build closeness later, using time you didn't give earlier. It doesn't work like that. Time doesn't accept late payments. I look at old photos sometimes, the ones my wife kept. Birthdays, school days, small moments. I'm in some of them, not all. And even when I am, I can see it now. Half turned away. Mine somewhere else. I used to think providing was love. Now, I think it was only part of it. Maybe the smaller part. What stays with people is how often you were there when they reached for you. I wasn't there enough. That's the sentence I live with now. Quietly. Again. And again. At 91. There's not much left to fix. That's another truth. Understanding comes after your chance to change things is gone. You can see everything clearly, but the road behind you is already closed. I don't expect them to suddenly come back. Life doesn't turn like that. They are who they are, and I am who I've become. Sometimes I wonder if I had done things differently, if I had put the papers down just a little more often, if I had said yes instead of not now. Would this house feel different? Would they sit here with me? I don't get an answer. Just the question. If you're listening to me and you still have time, there's something I want to say. Not advice, just something I learned too late. The small moments aren't small. When someone wants your time, that is the moment, not later. Later disappears. I thought I was doing everything for my family, and I didn't realize. They needed me more than what I was doing. Now, I sit here most evenings with the front light on. It's a small thing, a quiet hope that maybe one day I'll hear the gate open and I'll have just enough time to say, I see it now. I see what I missed. And I'm sorry I didn't understand sooner.